Okay, dear friends, we have a lot to do today. Agon Erev Shabbos, Parshas Vayigash. You know what? Let's start. We're gonna turn things in a different order today. I want to wish everyone a freilichen. What? What am I gonna wish you? A freilichen. We'll start with Erev Shabbos. A freilichen Erev Shabbos. A freilichen Gimel Kislev, I guess. What about a freilichen Chanukah? Is today Chanukah? Well, you say if today was Chanukah, a Freilichen 2025. Maybe, maybe it should be a Freilichen 2025 for everyone. Is today Hanukkah? Well, if today was Hanukkah, then we should have lit the menorah last night. I actually went into a shul last night and the menorah was burning and there was a whole controversy. Is it Baal Tosef? But it wasn't Baal Tosef because it was still burning from the morning. So it's not like they lit it last night. But is today the ninth day of Hanukkah? Well, we know there are only 8 days of Hanukkah. Is it a question why there are only 8 days? Why don't we say Sveika Diyoma? So you say Sveika Diyoma. When do we say? Why would we say Sveika Diyoma? Isn't Chanukah D'Rabbanan? Well, did you know that the Rabbi Yehuda Mizrahi in his Toisvis on the Smag asks, why don't we have Sveika Diyoma for Chanukah? So one answer is, well, we don't have Sveika Diyoma for Purim. Well, if the reason we don't have Sveika Diyoma for Purim is because Purim is the D'Rabbanan, that would be a good reason for Chanukah. But the Mordechai says on Esther, it says the Mordechai writes the reason there's no Sveika Diyoma for Purim is because it says your doubt has a v'lo yavar. You're now to go past the legislated dates. That implies that for D'Rabbanans you really would have Sveika Diyoma. It's just we have Exeris HaKosov by Purim not to have an added day because v'lo yavar. It doesn't say v'lo yavar by Chanukah. Oh, it doesn't say lo yavar by Chanukah. Then according to the Mordechai, there should be Sveika Diyoma for Chanukah. So answer number one, why there's no Sveika Diyoma, is because it's D'Rabbanan. Answer, but that's not going to work in the Mordechai because according to the Mordechai, we would have Sveika Diyoma for Purim if not for V'lo Yavar. And this is the question of the Rabbi Yehuda Mizrahi. I would humbly answer that the fact that the Mordechai doesn't just say that by Purim we don't have Sveika Diyoma because it's a D'Rabbanan would not necessarily mean we would not would not necessarily imply that D'Rabbanans have Sveika Diyoma. Let me explain. What's the halacha? If you're not sure if you read Megillas Esther, do we say Sveika D'Rabbanan L'Kula? We do not. For the nighttime reading, I'm sorry, for the daytime reading, the day reading of the Megillah is Midivrei Nevi'im, Divrei Kabbalah. Divrei Kabbalah is like Divrei Torah. The Pri Megadim says we do not say Sveika D'Rabbanan L'Kula. So if we don't say Sveika D'Rabbanan L'Kula, why? Because it's Midivrei Nevi'im. So the Mordechai can't say the reason we don't have Sveika D'Yoma by Chanukah is because it's a D'Rabbanan, because regarding Sveikos, it does not have a status of a D'Rabbanan, it has a status of Midivrei Nevi'im. But Chanukah would not have a status of Divrei Nevi'im. Chanukah would be Midrabanan. So in other words, like this, the Rabbi Yehuda Mizrahi asks, why is there no Sveika D'Rabbanan by Chanukah according to the Mordechai, who says there would be Sveika D'Yoma by Purim? I would argue, just because there would be Sveika D'Yoma by Purim does not necessarily mean there would be Sveika D'Yoma by Chanukah. By Purim, there's Sveika D'Yoma because it's a Midivrei Nevi'im. But Chanukah is not Midivrei Nevi'im. There are no Nevi'im in the times of Chanukah, so Chanukah would not have Sveika D'Yoma. So far we have two answers. Answer number one is, we don't have Sveika D'Yoma by anything which is not D'Oraisa. Answer number two is, we might have Sveika D'Yoma by Purim, if not for V'lo Yavar, but that would not indicate that we would have Sveika D'Yoma for Chanukah. Answer number three is from the Chida. The Chida in the Sefer Rosh David. When at my sister's wedding to Aaron David Leibowitz on Chaf Gimel Kislev, Tafshin Samach Daled, my brother-in-law's father decided to give out a sefer at the wedding called My Chanukah. Why? What is My Chanukah? It's all the thoughts of the Chida on Hanukkah. Now, he didn't know that I would collect all of them and take them back home, and I actually used the sefer. So he didn't know he was getting it for me. But obviously, it was a good shidduch if my brother-in-law's father gave out the chidah at the wedding. You know, you could imagine what a simon that is min hashemayim. But the chidah brings a very beautiful reason why were there no 9 days of Hanukkah. We said this over a few times. The famous kasha, the Beis Yosef. Why are there 8 days of Hanukkah? There should be 7. There should be 7 days of Hanukkah. So comes the chidah, and the chidah says, he quotes the Orchos Chaim of Luniel, which I showed you the other day, that every Hanukkah has a Shabbos in it, because they try to take away Shabbos. So we have to have a Shabbos in Hanukkah to celebrate Shabbos. Every Hanukkah has a Rosh Chodesh in it. We have to celebrate the fact they couldn't take away Rosh Chodesh. But what remez is there to Milah? What remez is there to Bris Milah? So says the Chidah, quoting the Orchos Chaim of Luniel, we have 8 days of Chanukah to commemorate that they try to take away from us Bris Milah. Ah, so says the Chidah, that's also why we don't have Sveika D'Yoma, we don't have 9 days of Chanukah. Because the same way we want to have an added day, an 8th day, so to commemorate Milah, we also don't want to have a 9th day, otherwise it would lose the commemoration of Milah. That's what the Chidah brings down in the Sefer Rosh David. That is answer number 4. So, I'm sorry, that is answer number 3. So one answer is, we don't say it for any Drabanans. One answer is, even if we would say it for Purim, we still maybe wouldn't say it for Chanukah. One is, we don't have Sveika D'Yoma because to commemorate Milah. Answer number 4 is from the Toldos Yaakov Yosef. Toldos Yaakov Yosef interestingly says, we do have Sveika D'Yoma. The Beis Yosef says there should be 7 days of Chanukah. He's right. There are 7 days of Chanukah. The 8th day is Sveika D'Yoma. Now you want to have another Sveika D'Yoma. The Beis Yosef's kasha is the miracle is only 7 days. Exactly. That's why Chanukah is 7 days. Oh, why is there 8 days? There are 8 days for Sveika D'Yoma. The only thing is that Toldos Yaakov Yosef doesn't like that answer, because then Chanukah should begin on Chaf Vav Kislev, because the first day wasn't a miracle, and it should continue until today. Meaning you can't say, says the Toldos Yaakov Yosef, the 8th day is Sveika D'Yoma, because then you're starting on the wrong day. Then you're starting on the wrong day. Yeah? Unless you say, like the Meiri, that they didn't rest on the 25th, they rested on the 24th. You know, the Meiri has a different gersa. According to the Meiri, maybe this would re-stir the offering of the Toldos Yaakov Yosef. That really, there's 7 days of Chanukah. The 8th day is Sveika D'Yoma. Why don't we begin Chavav? The answer is because according to the Meiri, they rested on the 24th, not the 25th. It wasn't Chanukah Hey. It was Chanukah Dalet. So we start on the 25th. The 24th Taka wasn't a miracle. We don't celebrate the 24th. We celebrate 7 days from the 25th, and then an 8th day. And now the answer that I've been waiting to tell you, and I'm happy my friend Rabbi Yehuda Goldstein is on for this answer. Okay? There's a famous Avudraham that I've been working on for many years, and I still can't crack it. And every year I want to say a shiur on it, I still can't figure it out. That Chanukah is Rosh Tevos, Ches Neiros, v'halacha kebeis Hillel. 8 candles, and the halacha is like Beis Hillel. Presumably that means that we're malin b'kodesh and we're not moiridin. Yeah? So, someone to answer the Beis Yosef's kasha, that the reason why there are 7 days, the reason why there are 8 days of Chanukah, but only 7 days were a miracle. You're right, only 7 days were a miracle. But we have to have 8 days of Chanukah. Because if we only have 7 days of Chanukah, we need every day to be recognizable that the halacha is like Beis Hillel. So if there's 7 days of Chanukah, day 1, according to Hillel, you light 1, and Beis Shammai says 7. Day 2, 2 and 6. Day 3, 3 and 5. Day 4, it's even Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel are both going to light 4, and it won't be recognizable halacha Beis Hillel. and the meaning of Chanukah is Ches Neiros Halacha Beis Hillel. By the way, otherwise it would have been called Zanukah. That's another problem. But besides that, there are those who suggest in the Shal Sechuvas Mar Va'ahalois, he brings that the reason why there are 8 days of Chanukah is because otherwise it would not be recognizable on the it would not be recognized on the 4th day that the halacha is like Beis Hillel. Well, this is another reason why there can't be 9 days of Chanukah. Because if there are 9 days of Chanukah, then on the 5th day, everybody would light 5. And it wouldn't be recognizable that the halacha is like Beis Hillel. So since the whole essence of Chanukah is that the halacha is like Beis Hillel, therefore we have to have 8 days and not a Sveika D'Yoma. But Rabbi say, you see, we had to give a whole shiur why today's not Chanukah. So that means that today really has a lot of potential. It just, there are many different reasons why we're not able to celebrate it. But it still has some of the flavor of Chanukah in it. And, I've been thinking for many years, why is it that Chanukah is 8 Neiros and the halacha is like Beis Hillel? Why is the halacha being like Beis Hillel connected to Chanukah? Maybe because, Rabbi Meir says that Chanukah is the inauguration of the Geula HaSida. So maybe you would think, if it's inaugurating the Geula HaSida, it's like the Geula has come already. So maybe when it comes to Chanukah, you could already go like Beis Shammai. Maybe there would be one area in halacha that you would follow Beis Shammai. So we say, no, Ches Neiros, don't worry, it's not Beis Shammai's time yet. We're still in the regular realm of history. The halacha is still like Beis Hillel. Okay, that's first offering for today, the 9th day of what would have been the 9th day of Hanukkah.